Hey guys, hope everybody's staying happy and healthy here. Um, this is just a quick tutorial, basically walk you guys through this CLP activity number 7. It can be a little tricky, especially since we're inviting some kind of new topics here. So the big thing that the purpose of this is for those of you guys who don't have the Real Fusion at home, this allows us to use basically the any kind of browser to use basically a web-based version of Fusion 360. So I'm going to teach you guys how that works. It's a little different than the norm. So let's show you guys what's up here. So the first thing you're going to do is, if you don't have Fusion, like I said, you're going to click on this little sign-on button, and it'll bring open basically a login for you guys. But I already logged in, so it's not going to show that. But you punch in your username and your password for basically your Autodesk account, and then it'll bring you open to all your projects. Now, again, you might obviously look different, but it'll show you owned by me and walk you through. Pick any folder that you like to save all your documents in. Mine's engineering design, so you'll see all the files that I've ever done. Doesn't really matter. This just kind of points out where we're going to save our stuff. But if you go over here where it shows new, you click Fusion Design. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring open literally another tab of like a web-based version of Fusion. Now, it's very limited. It doesn't have everything we need, and we are going to have to kind of modify on the go, and I'm going to show you what I mean in a bit. But this does allow us, to sign things in CAD still, but not depending on you guys to all have, a supercomputer to run this stuff. So basically, if I go through this, I'm just going to close this now, but this is what you would see. Back inside of the activity, you're going to see CAD Model Features Part 2. And what that's showing is basically three parts or three things that we want you guys to screenshot. So this is the first one I call a little robot that I'm going to mirror over a face. This other little part is the second screenshot. So on the right there, this is what you're going to be screenshotting basically. Um, the third one looks like this. It's the green piece. So those three things are what you're actually going to screenshot and then put back into Google Classroom for a grade. So without further ado, let's start with the very beginning here. So the robot on the side of the head. I'm not going to go over in detail here. I'm going to show you guys. This doesn't even give any dimensions. They just want you to draw, practice kind of just the feature of mirroring. So if I go to here, same kind of thing. And again, you're going to see if you even drop down modeling, you can't do anything else but model. And it's a little different. So here we go. So sketch, create sketch, pick a plane. Doesn't really matter which one. And again, they want you to draw this robot. So the first thing we got to understand is what units are in. There isn't anything here, but the rest of the activity is in inches. So I do want to show you and get you into the habit of the very first thing you kind of start doing is changing the units to what you need it to be in. So you click this, basically this little drop down might not be document settings. Press this little pencil, and you'll see you can drop down and change these to inches. So from there, we're going to start that new sketch. Oops, I'm sorry, I already did. So we can come over here and we can see the sketches that we've already started. And then I'm going to draw a random line. Go up. Doesn't really matter the distance, I should say. Press enter. And then now I got two lines. So it's a little clinkety. And again, I'm still trying to kind of get my head around it. It's a little different than what you're used to. So I'm going to draw this. Make this really big for absolutely no reason. And if I hit escape a couple times, you'll see that piece is there. So it also shows that this line here is a construction line, not a solid object line. So you just basically can click on that one line and right click on it, and then it says normal construction. You can change it to a construction line. Doesn't have to be perfect, but again, mine's not overhanging a little bit here. It's that we're just looking for the feature. So anyways, you're gonna come over to the circle, draw a little eyeball, try and make them exactly the same, and it auto kind of locks you in there. Then we're going to come to the rectangle, make his mouth. And again, press escape a couple times, you'll see that the piece is over there. Now, normally we would just press mirror. There's a mirror option up here in the regular Fusion. No, they don't have mirror in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of cheat. We're going to stop the sketch. We are going to extrude the face a tad bit, just so that we can basically have a just so we can have a profile to actually extrude from. So it looks like this isn't connected somewhere, so I'm going to make sure that my lines are all good. It didn't turn peach on the inside. Looks like that didn't do. Oh, that's weird. The joys of fusion. Connect those dots. Stop sketch. Whew. Oh boy, that's slow. So I'm going to go to extrude now. I should have at least one profile. There we go. The other one didn't show up, but you guys get the concept. Basically, extrude it out any random distance. Doesn't really matter. You're going to see this basic view. And to understand the mirror, all you're trying to get across is the fact that there's a mirror line, and this part or this object would mirror across that line. Now, again, in a sketch version, not a 3D modeled version like I have here, all you'd have to do is select the lines that you wanted to reflect over another line, in that case, the construction line. But in this case, because Fusion's silly in the browser version, we have to make it a solid. I know it's might be a little confusing, but we have this piece. Next thing we need to do is either select and put a construction line on there. Let's see if it works without it first. So we go to Sketch, Create, and then you drop down to Mirror. Now we're going to select the object. And then instead of faces, it's easier if you select bodies. That's the only body we can kind of select. And then in this case, sorry, mirror plane. In this case, it's not going to let us. Yep, it'll let us select where we want to mirror it across. And basically just think of that as the face that you want. You press OK, and it'll mirror that whole entire feature correctly over. And now I have, the other half. Now I can even do it again just to kind of prove my point. Create mirror. Now I'm going to select that body, which is this and this. We'll call them both. And then we can say mirror plane on this case, and now we want it to be basically that face that it's going to mirror across. You press OK, and it'll mirror the whole entire thing. And there you go. You got your two kind of robot faces. Now, again, it looks a little funky because it's a full piece, not a half piece like the one they're showing you in the drawing, but you get the concept. Next one. So I already drew these so that we could just kind of, keep an eye on time. If I throw here, you'll see I already made all the drawings. I just kind of made these dimensions as I go. I drew a line, and before I pressed enter, I just punched in the number. You can also use this up here, which is you could draw it as the way it looks without any measurements, and then you can come back and draw with dimensions right here, and that's just kind of sketch dimensions that allow you to input them in after. So you pick whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. You scroll in here, it tells you in the directions as well, if you do a little research right here, it says 0.75 inches. We're going to extrude this after you draw it in a sketch, 0.75 inches. So if I come over here and then I finish the sketch or stop the sketch, extrude, I'm going to select this, I'm going to punch in 0.75, press enter. I have that piece. If I come back over, it then tells me to make the radius 0.25 fillets and a 0.375 diameter hole to extrude the part. Now there's a million ways you can do this, it's totally up to you. But now that it's a solid, and a body, we can take that and fillet each one of those corners. So I'm going to come over to modify, and you're going to say fillet right here. And if we, again, select basically the edges, and you can select multiple edges, you don't have to wait and do it. I'm going to come back and forth. It looks like just those front two. And I'm going to punch in 0.25 because that's the radius that it wants you to punch in. Press enter, and then you can see this is my new little solid model that they've kind of created. So come back over here. Another piece they wanted is a hole. So I can come over here. I'm not sure if they even offer, let's see, hole. Yep, cool, hole. So I didn't put it in there, but you can if you want before in the sketch. You can do a couple different ways. You can make a hole, you have to have a circle to do that though. So I'm going to come in here, new sketch, put it on this surface. And again, if you look back here, it doesn't even show dimensions, just kind of in the center, 0.375 diameter. So I'm going to draw a circle. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. 0.375. Press escape a couple times. Sorry. 0.375. Enter, enter. Okay. Now you have these pieces. Now you can do the whole command. So we come and stop that sketch. And again, I just press escape a couple times. Let me try and move that, make it look a little better. Stop the sketch. Now you can either extrude or you can make a hole, and it'll ask you what face. And basically, you can select whatever face you want, and then you can move it around, make it the thing, all that kind of stuff. Or you can make it easier on yourself and just come over here and turn those sketches on, which they're on. Extrude, take that, drag it down, and instead it automatically changes the cut. Press OK, and now you got your hole that goes all the way through. That's the easier way. Okay, hopefully that fixes that piece. And then it tells you to mirror, like I taught you before, across that plane to get your final feature. So we come back over here, modify. I think it is, nope, create. There it is, mirror. Select the bodies, one body. Select a mirror plane. We can select this one, press OK. It'll mirror that piece across, and now we have that mirror feature. Go to that piece. Looks like there's a 0.25 fillet in here as well. I don't want to miss that. So I come over to modify again just to show you fillet. Just want that inside edge as well as this side edge. And again, hard right click, hold right click, I should say, to rotate like this, as you can see going around. Makes it a little easier. 0.25 is the radius. Press OK, and there's the fun in town. Now, that looks way bigger than what it is there. So it is what it is. They told you to put 1.25 fill. It's all apply all. So might say down here somewhere that there's a little difference. Let's see. Nope, that's it. Okay, again, that's the second one, so take a screenshot of that one. Third one, final, is to draw this piece, mirror it across that construction line that they make you make right there, and then to mirror that piece across again, and then extrude it. If you look really close, it says to use your measurements, and I'll show you guys that in a minute, but we'll just kind of guess from there. So I already drew this, again, just for the sake of time. If I show the view, basically this is what you're going to see right here. Now again, you've seen those fillets aren't there, is they are in the drawing because we can't make fillet in a sketch inside of the browser version. In Real Fusion, obviously you can, but in this we can't. And these are two different fillets, so we'll make sure that we keep an eye on that when we get to it. So first things first, after we do that, we got to mirror this piece as a solid piece. So the easier way to do this is to make it solid first and then mirror again, and we're done. So what I'm going to tell you guys to do is to stop the sketch, extrude that profile, and we're going to make it 0.3, let's make it 0.4. Okay, and now we have this kind of thick piece, right? So you want to add the radiuses first. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So we're going to mirror that piece. We're going to mirror it across one, going basically horizontal, and then vertically across the horizon. So have that piece, mirror it, modify, oops, sorry, create, mirror bodies, that body crossed that plane, press OK. Got our first one, come back, and again, I would apply those fillets. We can apply them now. Yeah, we're good. So the first one is 0.1 and the other one is 0.05. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to do those fillets. That's this. Whoops. Press escape if you ever get trapped. There we go. And then it said again, just to double check, 0.1. Come over here. Bunch of 0.1.
Mic off. Mic on.
Then from there, you'll see 0.05 is the inside one. So we're going to make sure we get those. Modify, fillet. Point 0.05.
Mic off. Mic on.
Go ahead and press OK. And then we're going to mirror that again across this bottom plane. So we're going to go to create, mirror, that body as well as that body. I know I got it on faces, so it'll automatically fix that.
Mic off. Mic on.
And we're going to select this body. We're going to select this body across this plane. Press OK. Now we have our entire piece basically completed. If you go back here, you'll see
Mic off. Mic on.
what the completed piece looks like. Take a screenshot of that, and you guys are all set. Again, if you have any questions, please. I know that was kind of fast, but trying to make the video short. If you have any questions, please don't worry about asking any of your teachers. If you've done all that, again, talk to your teacher. But in my class, my students have already done that. So you guys are going to select 2 out of the 6 of these to draw in Fusion, whether it's the browser version or in the basic Fusion as your desktop. So if you've already done in my class specifically, if you're not in my class, don't worry about it. But if you are in my class, the CAD modeling features we've already done in class, so do not do this. What you guys want to do is pick 2 out of these 6, and I want you to draw those in Fusion, take a screenshot, and then attach to it. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.